Welcome to episode of No Script News. It's been a while. So I decided that I'm going to do one No Script News episode during the week and launch it on Saturday. That way I can gather all the stuff that I didn't talk about and give it to you raw. And for those of you that are new to No Script News, this is more of a chill episode. I usually just, lay around, have some coffee, talk to the cats, and talk video games. Now, before I begin, I'm gonna pimp myself out because I never do that. But I started to put Potion Sword Run on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud. If you prefer to just hear my episodes instead of actually looking at this beautiful face. It's for those of you that are busy, that have a life, that you might be running away from the cops, or you might be, just jogging for some reason, and you want to listen to a little bit of video games, and yeah, that's where you'll find me. But the good thing about that is, if you do subscribe, is you also find stuff that you won't find on YouTube because either it doesn't fit for YouTube or I just didn't get around to it. For example, I have an episode on my SoundCloud right now called Smashing Goombas, and I wrote it about a year ago, and I just couldn't actually get the visuals, what I thought in my head, down into a video. I just wasn't technically capable of doing it, at least not yet. So I might make a video on that subject maybe later on when I get more technically savvy, but until then it's gonna just be there as a voice story, I guess you can say, because it's more of a little story. It's a narrative that I made up about Smashing Goombas. So you'll get exclusive stuff on these podcasts websites if you want to go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to have all the links. And since I'm peeping myself out, which I never do because it gets annoying, you know what I mean? I also have a TikTok channel, Potion Sword Run, and Twitter, Potion Sword Run. The TikTok channel, I put just 30-minute clips of video games, either that or little skits about my cats, because I love my cats, man. And so you'll find stuff that you won't find on this YouTube channel. And Twitter, just in case you don't want to follow Twitter because it can get toxic on there, that's why I have the TikTok channel, and that one kind of has the same video type wise. I'll put the same videos, and I think that is about it. So I'll have all the links and shit to the description, and like I said, some of this stuff is gonna be different, and I don't even know where you guys are at. I'm just putting my shit everywhere because might as well. But before we begin, again, do not like this video. I am still wanted for stealing my neighbor's cats. They keep on knocking, and I won't let them in. Deathloop has been delayed. If you guys have been looking forward to this Bethesda game on PlayStation because you have nothing else to play, well, you're gonna have to wait till September. And I really don't care because that game... Cyberpunk 2077's multiplayer online has been scratched. Probably because it was full of bugs, if you know what I mean. They couldn't even get the single player steady and stable, even with the 1.2 patch. So imagine how the multiplayer would have been trying to connect so many people together. They didn't have the NPCs set up in the single player. Imagine a bunch of gamers trying to connect to one server and trying to just run the city. It probably just collapsed in itself. So it's a good damn decision that they decided to get rid of multiplayer. But they need to fix this game, man. It's a fun game, but oh god, it could have been so much more. It could have been so much more. It's just like wasted opportunity. What else is in the news? This is stuff that I missed last week. I hadn't even looked into today, man. Shit. E3 will be all digital again, which is a smart decision because the Pan is still out there. We have variants going crazy. People still don't want to wear their mask. If you get vaccinated, guys, you still got to wear a mask, at least until everybody gets vaccinated. My friend over here with the crazy eyes bought me a Quest. You don't want to get vaccinated. She's one of those. She's a sweetheart though, man. She's a sweetheart. But God. What was I was talking about E3. Okay, there it was. So Microsoft and Nintendo and pretty much Konami and all the big people are going to be there. except Sony for some reason. I mean, I haven't looked into it since I think yesterday, so unless they're breaking something this weekend, Sony is not going to be involved in their digital E3. Now it's been rumored that Microsoft's event will be followed by Bethesda event, so it's going to be like a huge Xbox presence at this E3, digital E3. And I actually like digital E3s because you get to see like all the videos just at once. I mean, either way, it was fine before when they had it in person. I mean, you can see the videos, just had to wake up at different times. But I mean, I really don't mind this digital E3, at least for me, because I was never gonna travel there in the first place. But what is interesting is why is Sony silent about this? Is it because they don't really have much to show? Because they do have a few games to show coming up like next year. I mean, they have like maybe a couple coming out this Christmas, right? I mean, Ratchet & Clank's coming out in a few months. I don't know what's going on with Sony, but still, you know what I mean? Like they gotta have stuff to show. It's just weird that they're not gonna be involved. Maybe they're gonna do their own little thing, and not just like why do you have to be involved in E3 just to put your stuff up online during E3? So remember, like Devolver Digital will do their own little press conference like across the street from E3, not actually be part of E3. So we'll see. And there's a rumor going around that Alan Wake 2 is in development and it is being paid for by Epic. So it might suck. I don't really know. At least not for me. Hopefully it won't be exclusive to Epic and to their platform because I don't play on PC. And hopefully they'll still come out to consoles. I mean, I don't see why it won't come out to Xbox, given the first one was an Xbox exclusive for a bit. I'm not sure if it still is. But it was made for Xbox on Xbox by Remedy. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. But I'm really hoping that game makes it over. And if you haven't played Alan Wake, don't skip it. Play it now. Especially before the other one comes out. It's a cool story game. It's like a horror game, but it's more of a psychological game. And if it's on Xbox Game Pass, if you're an Xbox gamer, so there's a reason why you shouldn't play it. But hopefully it's good news. Either way, it's just great that it's in development, given that Microsoft could have made this game part 2 a long time ago if they really wanted to. So their loss. And this rare Nintendo cartridge sold for over $660,000. It's a Super Mario rare cartridge. And it just goes to show that not that video games ownership or physical media matters. It just goes to show that a lot of people out there have more money than sense, pretty much. I'm all for collecting and stuff, a few things here and there, but come on, man. $500,000 for a video game? I gotta start looking for a job soon. Probably this month or next month, but then I also have to move at the same time. So it's just like I'm looking for a job and looking for a place to live at the same time, and it's just very difficult. Oh my lord. But hopefully when I do go look for a job, I can work less hours than I did before, because I really enjoy making these videos and talking to you guys. So I'm gonna see how I'm gonna figure this out, but we're gonna figure this out. And I think that's gonna do it for this episode. There's not really much else I want to talk about. I do have a bunch of videos I'm working on for next week. A few Sony ones because they've been taking a lot of L's lately. And I have a Stalker one that should be releasing soon. It's about factions, so look into that. And I'll also be updating those on my new Spotify, Apple, and Google Potion Sword Run, if you want to subscribe to that. And I think that's about it this Saturday, guys. Hopefully you guys have a good one. Yeah. Remember, when shit's the fan. And what the fuck have I been talking about today? Deathloop? When shit's the fan? And your game that you guys keep on making fun of Xbox about, Deathloop is delayed? Run. See? That's how I make those up. I just, whatever it is, I just What else did I talk about today? I didn't talk about the HoloLens. Microsoft, they did a deal with the U.S. government for around billions and billions of dollars that pretty much pays for all these acquisitions that they do constantly. Because the thing with these big old corporations that have so much money is that they just keep on buying and stuff and making. It's like their investments pay for themselves. You know what I mean? Especially when you get into the business contract business with the U.S. government. Like, why do you think we go to war so much? Why do you think we're constantly in war? Because these big old companies and these government officials create these contracts to just create money for them. You know what I mean? So, anyways, what else? Now that's gonna do it for this episode. Remember, when shit's the fan and you start hearing that Cyberpunk 2077 developers had to scratch the multiplayer because there's a bunch of funny business going on that they can't figure out on the single player side, and then they want you to buy multiplayer side as well. Run.